Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my current beauty / makeup wish list. The products that I want to buy so bad, but I can't because I'm on a goddamn low buy. And what better way to start off my low buy than to talk about all the makeup that I want to buy? What could possibly go wrong? So, let's just fucking get into it, I guess. I'm gonna scooch over and I'll put pictures of the products on this side of the screen. As you can see, I really didn't put any effort in to getting dressed today. So this is what we're gonna be working with. So I have these in kind of in order, kind of not in order. That makes sense. There are two foundations that I really want to try that I just can't justify spending the amount of money that they cost on, because I already have foundations that I have a fair amount of foundations in my collection right now that I enjoy, but I just can't get these out of my mind. The first being, I don't have the actual name of this, but I'll put a picture of it. It's the new foundation that NARS released this year. It's like the soft matte foundation. I think it's like kind of in the same, like supposed to be the same vein as their like soft matte complete concealer. I love the NARS like radiant foundation, like Longwear radiant foundation. It's so good. Oops. It's so good and it's so expensive, and I've used up one whole bottle and I again just haven't been able to justify the price of it. But maybe one day I'll buy it, but I want it so bad. And also the Too Faced foundation that they released, again, I'll put a picture of it up, but I don't remember the actual name of it. I love the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Is my favorite concealer ever. It's so good. It's like you couldn't come up with a better concealer formula, in my opinion. I love it. And I'm so curious to try the foundation to see if it's good or not. If it's anything like the concealer, I'm sure it's amazing, but I just want to try it. Again, I just can't justify it though. And because it's me, I also have many a blush on my wish list, okay? I have many a blush. The first being, I've wanted this for so long, since it released. I think I might realistically actually buy this at some point, but I haven't bought it yet. It's the Likely Makeup Fairy Blush Palette. You know, if you watch me at all, you know that I love the Likely Makeup Clown Blush Palette. It's, again, like perfection blush formula. You couldn't come up with a better blush formula. I love it so much, and I just want this other blush palette. The thing I think that mainly drew me back from buying it initially is just because it does have that like blue turquoisey blush, and while the looks that I could do, like the monochromatic looks I could do with that turquoise blush, I wish. I know that I could use an eyeshadow, like I know, but I don't want to because I want this blush palette. And like I said, I think one day I'll get it. I think it's like $23 US, so it's not like incredibly expensive, but it's also, I just haven't been able to justify it because I do have a fair amount of blush, but I feel like I can never have enough blush. Another blush palette that I really want is the Crayon Case Blush Book. I know I've talked about this before in another video. I haven't been able to get it out of my mind. It's so nice. There are a number of shades that I probably wouldn't be able to use on my cheeks, just because they're for people with deeper complexions. I think that this would probably double as an eyeshadow palette in that sense, because there are like a fair few number of deeper shades, which is not a complaint. I think that's great, but there's something about it, and I know what it is. It's that there's so many bright, just delicious blushes, and I feel like a lot of times in blush palettes that I see, like for example, the Lunar Beauty blush palette, would love it. I think if I got it, the packaging is beautiful. I'm sure it's a great formula, but there are so many light blushes in there, and I just love an intense blush. I would rather have a whole bunch of intense blushes and then a few subtle blushes that I can use when I need to have a subtle blush. But I don't feel the need to like have a ton of subtle blushes, but I do feel the need to have a ton of like really intense blushes. And this blush book has it all. It has any color of blush that I could ever want. Ugh, it's so nice. And I think this is also something in 2020 that I think I might end up buying, also because I'm trying to be good and not use every single purchase on eyeshadow. So why not use blush? I've also been intensely into glowy blush this year, or this past year. I keep referring to this year, but it's actually 2021. But in 2020, I really fell in love with glowy blush in a major way. And there are a lot of glowy blushes that I want really badly. One being the Fenty Beauty blush topper, or I wrote that, but I don't think it's actually a blush topper. I think it's like a large pan highlight that's this shade of pink. And I just know that I would love it. I got their like the duo, it's like the Kilowatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter and Sangria Sunset and Mimosa Sunrise or something like that. And it's the one where it has like the pink and the orange. I've been loving that. It's such a beautiful formula. I use it as blush and I just think it's so nice. And I've been eyeing that pink Fenty like highlighter for so long. Also the red one, but it's been out of stock forever. So who knows what's happening with that, but the pink one I really, really want. Similarly, the Melt blush lights, I've been lusting after them for so long. They look so beautiful. Again, they have a lot of really intense colors, which is pretty typical of Melt. I also really want their highlighter in Genesis. It's like this peachy goldy. I think it would be such a beautiful blush that I want it so bad. But Melt especially is so expensive that I just haven't been able to justify paying like $50 for a single glowy blush. But my heart wants it. My heart wants it so badly. And then the last blush product, it's just a blush. Then the last blush that I really want, that's been on my wish list, that's what this video is about, is the Canmake Cream Cheek Blush. It's what I'm wearing, the only one that I have today. This was actually gifted to me by my friend. She got this when she was in Taiwan, I believe, and I love it. I'm not a cream blush person. I'm not a cream anything person. I'm very much a powder product individual, but there's something about this formula that is so beautiful. It blends on top of powder like a dream. It is intense, it's buildable, but you can sheer it out. It doesn't feel tacky at all. It feels like I'm just wearing like a powder blush. It doesn't get like patchy or weird. It doesn't make me look oily. It blends it blends itself. It's such a nice cream blush. I want all the colors. And it's not super accessible to me. This is something that I think is on my wish list, and if the chance ever came for me to be able to buy this in any way, I would probably take that up. But it's not something that I think I'm going to necessarily go out of my way to try to hunt down online and buy. But if I was ever in a store that was selling these blushes, I might buy like 2 or 3. I love this blush formula a lot. And of course, it wouldn't be my channel if I didn't talk about eyeshadow for at least a little bit. So here we go. Speaking of Melt, and now I know that Melt, I had a real I was rooting for you moment with Melt, and then when I found out about their fucking holiday party in the middle of a pandemic, I was honestly very disappointed and sad, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about that moving forward, because they honestly are one of my favorite brands and I still like want a lot of their products. It's really disappointing because like people are dying and then you're out here partying. So I don't know how I feel about Melt. I'm probably not gonna say that I won't buy from them ever again, because I just don't think that's realistic. But I just really don't know how to feel, to be honest. Anyway, but these are still on my wish list. I still want them. I think they're beautiful products objectively. I mean, I love all of their palettes. Like, I just feel like Melt does such a good job of creating beautiful color stories. And the thing that really brings me in, or like draws me in about Melt and their eyeshadow palette specifically, is how much depth they have. My number one complaint without fail about eyeshadow palettes is always that when they're completely mid-toned or they have no depth. Number one, it's just the way that I like to do my eyeshadow, that I like to have a deep matte shade. It's just like how my makeup preference is. It's just really what I like. And then also too, if a palette is entirely mid-tone, I feel like that really like slashes the amount of people that are able to use it, because people with deeper skin tones aren't always going to be able to use palettes that are totally mid-toned. And I feel like, yeah, so it really annoys me when I have so many palettes that are totally mid-toned, and then it really excites me when I see palettes with a lot of deep shades, specifically deep matte shades, and that's what Melt does really, really well. Specifically, the two that I have on the top of my list from Melt is the 420 palette. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I frankly don't give a shit. I still want it. I still want it so bad. I think it's so beautiful. I love the greens and the mustards, and I just think it's so nice, so nice. And I also really want the She's in Parties palette. So many people were raving about that. I love purple eyeshadow, I love plummy eyeshadow, and it's really drawn me in. I have my eye on that. Another thing, I actually have shadows from this brand. I actually just posted a video like last week about it. I want more. I want more Shine by SD shadows. I have their Reserve collection, the like original 7 shadows. They're so sparkly, so beautiful. I'm absolutely obsessed with them, and I just want more. Specifically their duochrome line. Lauren May Beauty did a video where she was swatching all of her Shine by SD duochrome shadows, and they're so beautiful, and I just want them. And even though I have made a purchase from the brand, I still want more. And that's the problem that I find with single shadows and single shadow brands, is like I feel like I gotta catch them all. Like I really feel like I just want to collect them all and that'll never be done. But yeah, that's definitely on my radar. And again, like I mentioned in that video that I did specifically about Shine by SD, it's a Canadian brand, and I based out of Halifax, and I love to support Canadian brands, and it's a black-owned brand, and I'm about it. I'm really about it. I also really want to try Terra Moons. They recently did a release of like new shadows in their like duochrome, multi-chrome, I think it's their multi-chrome line. So many people have been talking about them and how amazing their shadows are and how amazing their shadow formulas are. And the recent launch that they did is the shadows that they came out with look literally out of this world. Pardon the pun. It's not really a pun. Okay, never mind. But I don't know if it's the way that the pictures that they released were like specifically taken, or if they actually are that beautiful. But they look like just precious little jewels, and I just want to own them so badly. Ugh. But Caramoons is also one that is a brand that's expensive because I have, like, during sales and like Black Friday and stuff, I've gone onto their website and I've like tried to like put things in my cart and figure out what I would want to buy, but their single shadows are pretty expensive, and I have just such a hard time making decisions, and especially with single shadows, I get really overwhelmed by choice and I want to just buy everything, and when I can't, I'm just like, I guess I'll buy nothing then, and then I just exit out the tab. So I haven't ended up buying anything from them, but they're highly on my radar. And jumping back a little bit to palettes, because I went on a little bit of a single shadow tangent, the Adept Plain Jane palette specifically, but also the new palette that they released, I can't remember what it's called, like the Nihydrin palette or something like that. Oh, but the Plain Jane palette, that's the one that came out first. It looks amazing. Like, I've been really eyeing more like special, shifty, metallic, sparkly shades, and this palette is literally filled with them. It looks so beautiful. Everyone has been talking about it, and it's a little bit scarce. Like, it's still goes on pre-order and then it gets sold out and stuff like that, so I haven't ended up buying it. In their last restock, or like their last time they opened for pre-order, I had already bought stuff using my budget, so I couldn't buy anything. I couldn't buy it, but I want it so bad. Although I do think the shipping, Adept shipping to Canada, is expensive. I think it's like $20 or something, which is almost where I draw the line. It's like I could maybe justify it, but like that's a lot of money just to ship it here when I don't have to own it. It's just makeup, so yeah. But it's on my radar for sure. And then I have two brands that I just want to basically try everything from, and I'm really, really intrigued by. The first, okay, this brand I will buy. I will buy from them in 2021. If I do anything, I will buy from Ace Beauté. Their color stories knock it out of the fucking park. Like, I'm sorry, but no one that I've seen does color stories better than Ace Beauté. And I don't care if you disagree with me, because I'm right. I just like think they're so interesting. They're so unique and beautiful, and I've wanted to try them for literal years, and I don't know why. I just have never gotten around to doing it, but I will buy something from them this year. And then the second brand is Menagerie. I feel like everyone I watch, like 70% of the people that I watch on YouTube love Menagerie. I am not a big animal person. Like, I don't hate animals, but I'm not like I love all animals, you know, type of person. But so that aspect of their brand isn't like necessarily something that really is like the factor that makes me want to try them. But I feel like their artwork on their palettes is so beautiful. Again, I really love their color stories. I think they're really unique, and so many people say, like, always talk about how much they love their formula, and I'm just so intrigued. Again, shipping, Menagerie shipping to Canada is really expensive. It's like $20, so I haven't been able to justify it, but I'm eyeing them, especially when their Arthurine palette came out, so like their blush palette. I almost bought it, but then I couldn't justify it, so yeah. Alright everyone, that concludes this video. Let me know what products are on your wish list, because I would love to know. Let me know if have you tried any of these products that I've mentioned, and do I really need them? Like, let me know. Let me know. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see from me, and I hope you have a good day. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye.